Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Aiman bin Muhammad Rosli from Diploma in Logistic Management, intake April 2021. This is the presentation for the subject International Logistic Management, which is prepared for Ms. Nur Hazwani. First of all, this is a topic about the activity of import and export in an international logistic. So, I will tell you about the background first, which is import and export play an important role as a help economy as a whole. The countries collect the data from the import and export activity to determining of the surplus or the deficits. So if you are in a government managing the logistic, finance, or the shipment, then it is beneficial for you to understand how import and export are working. Okay, I will explain to you about what is import and what is export. Export are goods or services that the companies are selling to the other companies or the customers, which is based on abroad. This will bring the money to the countries. The company may choose to sell the products or service to another country because it will give them the chance to make them get into the global trades, the new market, and also increase their revenue. The business will typically try to sell the product or services to the region where they will get their advantage competitive of the other business because their products are superior in that regions and particular countries. Imports is a goods or a products which is the company buy from the another countries. It will lead the outflow of fund from the countries to the foreign products and services, because most of the countries are trying to exporting their products or services rather than importing it because it will make the domestic growth. But the high level of the imported to the country, such as equipment and machinery, it will bring the productivity to the countries. So I will tell you about the advantage and disadvantage of the exports. So the advantage of the exports are you can learn new ideas, you can practice managing, and you can also learn a new technique of the global market. Also, you can position yourself in the global trading to make your product or services be more known worldwide. It is also can make you a company or a product and services to exit its potential. Next are the disadvantage of the exports. As we know that in the global markets, it is a fiercely competitive market because it bring the businesses and company from around the global. So it will make us feel so hard to compete with them because there are thousands of the companies and business product and services. And other than that, the exposure of our products and brands will take time in order to make use from the other countries' community because they are still not really familiar with our product, so it will take a time. Okay, now I will tell you about the advantage and disadvantage of imports. And of course, when we talk about the imports, it is the high quality of the products which is it can gain from the another country, such as the high developed country as Japan, Korea, Germany, and another countries. And as we know, there are tons of country with high technology products. So it will make the imports bring to the country that doesn't have that kind of products, and it also can bring the productivity to the countries with the high-tech technology that is used for the economies of the host countries. Next are the disadvantage of the imports. As we know, when we have the advantage, of course, we also do have the disadvantage risk, such as the currency risk, which is the country that we bring the imports. We have to know their current currencies markets, because if the currency are not in a good stable, then the imports product also can bring to the loss and something else. So that we need to have awareness and also be careful on what we are trying to import. Okay, now I will explain to you about the import and exports requirement in Malaysia. Malaysia was one of the founding members of WTO in 1995, which they aim to create a freer and fairer global trading. Malaysia has followed the six agreements, regional free trade agreements, which have signed separately from the six countries, which is including China, Japan, South Korea, India, New Zealand, and also Australia, but with the support of the Asians. Malaysia's International Trade and Industries Minister are the one responsible for facilitates the trades in Malaysia, and the Royal Custom Department Malaysia are the one who are responsible for the custom clearance of import and export, which are regulated by the Custom Acts of 1967. Some of the items are require the license or APs, the approved permits, which is including the steel, the heavy equipment, and also the chemicals. All of the details of the license can be found on the MITI's websites. The APs issuing are permit issuing authorities, which is the department that are responsible for the products of imports and exports. All of the PIA, the permit issuing authorities, can be found on the My Trade Links, which is the trade facilities of Malaysia's portals. In addition, this is including the packing list, the invoice, and also bill of lading. Next are the latest development in international logistics. The latest development as of now are the using of the automation, which is crucial for any business of the modern business, and also it can lead to the reducing of time, reducing cost, and also it can increase efficiency, free up worker or employees to others, and productivity the activities. So the company logistic can implementing the harness of power of the automations with the end-to-end integration between the WMS or ERP or any other e-commerce platform, because with the many company that make more platform, so they need to collect more data. So with the WMS or ERP, they can collect the data fast as they can, accurately, and also reducing the time. So now are the challenge of international logistics, especially during the pandemic. The people are more tense to buy the products or items online, because they need to stay at home, stay indoors for the safety concerns, and this is the only ways for them to buy from the marketplace, which is from the application of the devices. So this need to be more and more productive by using the international logistic, they tend to be more demand from the customer. So this is the challenge for the international industry and company to be more fast, be more efficiency and productivity to make the satisfaction of the customers even during the pandemics. So in conclusion, how can we prepare for the latest development and the challenge of the international logistics? First of all, with the rapid of the technological and also the advance of the modern business, of course we need to bring ourselves more forward rather than stay in the same place, because the time flows change the industry of logistics from the manual to the automation. So we need to get prepared and adapting to the new current environment, because it will make us be more relevant and more efficiency during the technological change. So the challenge are such as the pandemic. We need to learn from this of how can we foreseen the future. How can the future be? We need to improve our weakness area and be prepared of what come around, because if we didn't prepare, then it will make us lose productivity, lose workers and something else, just like the pandemics the other days. So that's all for me. Thank you for hearing and watching until the end.